morning, students. Today we'll have to read the remaining part of our chapter number 5, The Happy Prince. Can you all see me and hear me? Is the screen clear to all of you? Drop your answers here in the chat box. We were here on page number 32. Not on page number 32, actually we are here. Yes, on page number 33. Already some people have come. Kirti, this is Kartikeya Sharma, Akshita Gehlawat, Kanishk, Meenal, Mayank. Who else is there? Let me see to it. Vansh Jain, Malti and Malti, Urvashi. Urvashi is also here. Good morning, Urvashi. Who else is there? Ritik is also here. Akshita, good morning, Akshita. And okay, that is Harsh Jangra. Good morning, Harsh. Who else is there? This is VJ Gaming Vansh, I think. Yes, 35. Remember, Sakshi is also here. No, Sakshi. It's Deepak. Good morning, Deepak. Ayush Shikara. Good morning, Ayush. Who else is there? Okay, yes. Daksh Saroha. Good morning, Daksh. Welcome to the class. Good to see you people here. And Jatin, this is Jatin. Jatin is also here. Good morning, Jatin. Shivank. Good morning, Shivank. Good to see you here, all of you. Okay, so shall we begin? Only 12 people are here. Ask the students to join the live class fast. There are only 12 people here. Amandeep is also here. Good morning, Amandeep. Okay. Yes. Sakshi. Okay. Who else has come? Let me see to it. Ayush Shikara, Lakshya. Okay. This is Lakshya Goyal. Good morning, Lakshya. Welcome to the class. Today you are on time. Well done. Good. Okay, let us begin our chapter. Okay, is the screen clear? Is the screen clear? There should be no problem regarding a net connection or something. Okay. Right. Yes. So all the people are saying yes, ma'am. The screen is clear. Right. Okay. Okay. Let's begin then. We were here. Yes, Meenal, you want to say something? Meenal wants to say something. Okay, Jatin is also here. Jatin. This is from 9th D or 9th H. Jatin. There are two Jatin. One in 9th D and the other is in 9th H. Which Jatin am I talking to? Please mention your class. Which Jatin am I talking to? Parveen Saroha. Who's that? Parveen Saroha. Who is that, beta? Harshit Sharma. Okay, Harshit. Yes. Okay, let's begin. We have waited a lot. It's already 8:37 and we should have begun at 8:30. Dia is also here. Yes, Dia. Good morning, Dia. Okay, Garima never comes to the class. Garima never comes to the class. Just ask her to come to the class. It's very bad. Okay, this is row number 9th D, row number 10. Okay, Praveen Saroha, right. Okay. Okay, so let's begin from here. We were here on this page. Let me highlight the text for you people. We have read this paragraph. Yes. So the swallow flew over the great city. If you remember, yesterday we have read that the prince had lost both his eyes, and the swallow decided to stay with the prince for rest of his life because the prince could not see anything. He had become blind. That's why he decided to just remain there, to stay there with him. And from then onwards, from that day onwards, the swallow started flowing, you can say flying to the city every day, and he would just see to it who's happy in the city and who's unhappy, who's suffering, who's who's not happy in their lives. He would tell about the poor people of his city. Priyanshu Saroha is also here. Good morning, Priyanshu. Welcome to the class. You are a bit late, but okay, fine. We have just started the chapter. We wait for 5 to 6 minutes for the people to come here. Okay, so what happens? The swallow just fly over the city every day, and he would give the news to the prince who's unhappy, who are the people suffering because of poverty. What is happening with the poor people exactly? So see, what did he see? He flew into the dark lanes. See, let me read it from here. So the swallow flew over the great city and saw the rich making merry in their beautiful houses, while the beggars were sitting at the gates. Means the rich people making merry, enjoying their life. Yesterday also I told you people, merry means making enjoying their life, making merry in their beautiful houses, while the beggars would sit at the gates of their houses. He flew into dark lanes and saw the white faces of the starving children. Starving children means the children who were hungry, who had not anything to eat, who didn't have anything to eat. So he would see to that, he would just tell the happy prince that they were poor children, they were starving children, looking out listlessly at the black streets under the archway of a bridge. To then he one day he saw two little boys taking shelter under the archway of the bridge. Archway, you understand, make an arc, you all must have studied how to make an arc in mathematics. So arc is actually the half circle, or a part of circle. So archway, under the bridge, you can imagine the bridge, under the archway of the bridge there were two boys. They were clasping each other, they were hugging each other, so that they could keep themselves warm. Okay, who else has come? Aryan Sharma. Okay, Savita Sharma. This is Kriti is here, also here. Good morning, Kriti. Bhavya is also here. Good morning, Bhavya. Okay, only these 2-3 students have come. Yes, right now. Okay, so they were clasping each other, they were hugging each other, so that they could keep themselves warm, because it was cold outside, very very cold. How hungry we are, they said, and the two children, the two boys, were very hungry. You must not lie here, shouted the watchman, and they wandered out into the rain. And it was raining outside, means they had taken shelter under the bridge, and they were hugging each other, they were clasping each other, they were holding tightly each other, so that they could keep warm, because they didn't have food to eat, and they were starving, and it was very difficult for them to keep their bodies warm, right? When the students, when somebody is hungry, it actually it's very difficult to keep the body warm, because the body gets the energy from food, and if somebody has not eaten food, his or her body would not be able to defend cold. So they were very hungry, and it was very cold outside, it was actually raining. But the watchman, see the cruelty of the watchman, he did not even let them lie there under the bridge, he did not let them take shelter under the bridge, and he just shooed them away. He just asked them to just go away, run away from there, and they wandered out into the rain. And because they were little children, and they were afraid of the watchman, so they had to run away from there. And it was raining outside, and they had to wander, they had to just roam in the rain out there. Okay, someone else has also come. It's Shivam, row number 15. Okay, good morning, Shivam, good to see you here, but you are still late. It's 8:43. Our class starts at 8:30, so try to be on time, everyone. Please try to be on time, so that I can begin the chapter at 8:30 exactly, because you people come late, I have to keep on waiting for you people for 5 to 7 minutes, and that is always 5-7 minutes always deducted from your class. So this is not my loss, actually this is your loss. So be on time, try to be on time. Okay, next is then he flew back and told the prince what he had seen. I am covered with fine gold, said the prince. You must take it off leaf by leaf and give it to the poor. The living always think that gold can make them happy. So the prince now decided that the thin coverings of the gold should be taken out from his body and should be distributed among the poor people of the kingdom, so that they could become happy and they could live happily. They could just earn their living, or just can live happily as the rich people were living in their country. So see here, leaf after leaf. So the swallow did the same thing. He just he was abide by the order of the happy prince. He was agreed to the happy prince, and he took the leaf after leaf of fine gold, and swallow picked off till the happy prince looked quite dull and grey. Now the whole covering of the gold had been removed, and the happy prince looked very shabby, because from inside, if you remember, it was made of lead, the metal. Remember, if you remember, we talked about it, because see here, when the happy prince told the swallow that his heart made of lead, the swallow asked to himself, why wasn't he made of pure gold? Wasn't his heart made of pure gold? No, from inside it was completely made of lead, and from outside it was covered with the coverings of gold. So the swallow took all the coverings one by one and gave it to the poor people so that they could become happy. And after taking all those coverings, the the prince, the statue of the prince looked very dull, and because lead has a gray color, so it looked very gray and dull. It didn't look it didn't remain beautiful now. It was quite shabby, dull and gray in color. It was quite ugly looking. Okay, Yogeshwar has also come. Good morning, Yogeshwar. Welcome to the class. Beta, you are 15 minutes late, so you should be on time. Okay, so what happens then? Let us move to the next page, page number 34. Fine gold he brought to the poor, and the children's faces grew rosier. See here the meaning of rosier. Rosier means it is made of the root word here is rose. Rose, how does a rose look? Pink. So because now the poor children were getting food every day, so their faces grew rosy. Rosy means to say pinkish in color, right? Because they were getting food every day. Clear, everyone up to here? Okay, see, I'm reading it here. Let me it just yes, now it is all visible. I'm reading it here. And they laughed and played in the street, and we have bread now. They cried, and the children were very happy. They laughed and cried. They laughed. Why they laughed? They were happy. Why they were happy? Because they were getting food constantly, regularly, every day, because the swallow was bringing the gold leaves to them every day, to their parents every day. So they were able to have food every day, and their faces grew pinkish in color, and they laughed, and then now they have started laughing and playing in the streets. We have bread now. They cried, and they were very happy that they had food then. Okay, next is then the snow came, and after the snow came the frost. See here, you understand the frost? The icy crystals on the ground, or any surface that makes it white during the winters. You all we have seen frost, on the outer body of our house, generally on the walls or on the floor. We see frost, the icy crystals which are deposited on the walls generally. So that is frost. So after the snow came the frost. Means the weather became bad, worse. The street looked as if they were made of silver, because they were covered all over with frost, and they looked as if they were made of silver. Everybody went about in furs. Went about means everybody started wearing the coats, and the little boys were scarlet caps and skated on the ice, and the little boys wore scarlet means red caps and skated on the ice, and the children had started wearing caps on their heads, and they had started skating on the ice. Means there was such a heavy snowfall that the children could skate on it. Okay, Aryan 9th H present. Okay, Aryan, good morning. Good to see you here in the class. Okay, next is the poor children. Poor little swallow grew colder and colder, because the weather was getting worse and worse. It was getting colder and colder. So the swallow actually his condition was not good. His condition was very, very bad. Why his condition was bad? Because he was getting colder and colder. He must have gone to Egypt to save himself, but he didn't go, and he grew colder and colder. But he would not leave the prince. But he now loved the prince, and he loved him too well, and he loved him. Him means the prince very much. He loved the prince very much. That's why he would not leave him alone there on the pedestal. He picked up crumbs outside the baker's door when the baker was not looking and tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings. So what did the swallow eat? The question is, what did the swallow eat? The swallow would go to the baker's shop. He would fly to a baker's shop and he would just munch up the crumbs, little bits of bread there when the baker was not looking, means when the back of the baker was towards him. So he would steal some breadcrumbs from there and try to keep himself warm by flapping his hand. He would flutter his wings, and that's how this is a sort of exercise that he would do every day to keep himself warm. Okay, next is, but at last he knew, see here I'm reading this paragraph, but at last he knew that he was going to die. Because of cold, he knew that he would not live longer. He is going to die very soon. Means the weather was so bad that he could not sustain there. He could not live. He was not habitual of such cold weather, right? Because in winters, he and his friends would go to Egypt and enjoy summers there. So he knew that he would not be able to survive there, and he would die very soon. He had just enough strength to fly up to the prince's shoulder once more. Goodbye, dear prince, he murmured. Will you let me kiss your hand? And he had just a little strength left in his body, and he flew up to the shoulder of the prince, and he said, goodbye, dear prince. He murmured, he whispered, he said in a very low voice. Murmured means saying something in a very low voice, which is sometimes hard to listen to, hard to hear to. When you whisper something in somebody's ears or you murmur something, means it's not audible actually. It's very low sound you produce. Okay, will you let me kiss your hand? And he just went near to the ear of the prince and he said, will you let me kiss your hand? I'm glad that you are going to Egypt at last. And the prince thought that the swallow was going to Egypt and he was taking his leave. He was saying goodbye to him. That's why he wanted to kiss his hand as a gesture of saying goodbye. So, but actually the swallow was not going to Egypt. He knew that he was going to die very soon. So he was taking the final leave from the prince. He was taking the final leave from the prince. The prince understood. The prince thought that he was going to Egypt, but it was not the case. I'm glad, the prince said, I'm happy, glad means happy, that you are going to Egypt at last, means at last you are going to Egypt. Little swallow, you have stayed too long here, but you must kiss me on lips, for I love you. Means you have stayed here for a long time, means several days you have spent here in this cold weather, in this harsh winter. You have spent a lot of time with me without caring about your health. So now I love you and you must kiss on my lips. It is not to Egypt that I am going. Now the swallow is clarifying his case. He says, it's not the Egypt that I'm going to the house of death. Death is the brother of sleep, is he not? See the question tag. See the question tag, use of question tag here, everyone. See the students who are in 9th D, we learned question tags in class 8th in your workbooks, but the students who are in 9th H, they might not have read the question tags here. See, the death is the brother of sleep. This is a positive statement. The death is the brother of sleep, means death is the, you can say the big brother of sleep. When we sleep, we don't have any contact with the outer world, and similarly when we die, we break all the contacts with this world, with our body. So is he not, this is how we put the question tags. If we have got a positive statement, we always have a negative question tag, is he not. See, and the verb, generally we use the same verb which is used in the positive sentence. So we would say, isn't he. He here stands for death. Clear? Understood up to here? mind it, everyone. I'm telling you again and again, this time you are going to get the comprehension from inside the chapters also. So you must know about the pronouns for which it is used. This is a very general question. You could be asked, who's he here in the passage? He is not the swallow, he is not the prince, he is here death. So you must know that. Okay, Vikas has also just joined the class. It's 8:55. Vikas, you are so late. And Priya Sharma also very late, almost you can say 25 minutes late. So be on time, please be on time. No, I cannot consider you people present if you come to the class 25 minutes late. No, some people whom I asked yesterday, they were 25 minutes late, 23 minutes late. That's why I considered them absent yesterday. So I will not consider you people present. If you have a genuine problem, you can tell me, but this is not the way to come to the class. You should respect the time. Okay, so he here is death. This is how we have understood the question tag. Okay, if I say death is not the brother of sleep, if I make it a negative sentence, you please drop your answers how to put the question tag of that. If I say death is not the brother of sleep, so what would be the question tag of it? What would be the question tag of it? It would have been, is he? Okay, see here, death is the brother of sleep, is he not? Because here, up to here, this is a positive statement, and we'll have to make the question tag of it. So we'll have to take a note, negative word here, is he not? And if it would have been given, death is not the brother of sleep, then we would have asked, is he, and a question mark. Okay, yes, Vansh has given the answer. Yes, Urvashi has also given the answer, is he, correct. Exactly right. Okay, Yash Sharma, see Yash, 57, it's 8:57 on my screen, and you are 27 minutes late, so please be on time. Okay, Priyanshu Saroha has written, is he, and a question mark. Do not forget to put a question mark. Yes, Sakshi, you are also right, is he. Aryan Sharma has also given the same answer. Okay, let's move to the next one. And he kissed the happy prince on the lips and fell dead at his feet, and after kissing him, he was dead. At that moment, a curious crack sounded inside the statue. See here, I am underlining the text. This is what we are reading. Inside the statue, as if something had broken, and as the swallow died, he fell into the feet of the happy prince. There came a crack sound from inside the statue. And what was the crack sound? It was the sound of his heart. The heart of the statue, although it was made of lead, it was broken. Means he had lost. It was a symbol. The crack sound was the symbol that his heart was broken, and actually it actually showcased. It actually shows that he had lost his loved one. And whenever we lose our loved ones, whenever we lose our parents, whenever we lose our friends in our lives, we are generally heartbroken. So this is what here is symbolized. The crack sound here symbolizes that he had lost his loved one. And who was that loved one? The little swallow. Okay, the fact is that the leaden heart had snapped right in two means broken into two parts. His leaden heart was broken into two parts. It certainly was a dreadfully hard frost. Certainly means clearly, exactly, certainly means very, I should say, of course, indeed, was a dreadfully hard. Dreadfully means fearfully, or you can say terrifying. Frost means the snow, or you can say the winter, the cold, which can freeze one's body parts. It was really dreadfully hard frost, which would have made the inner parts of the body, you can go frosty, or you can say when it is so cold outside, we are not able to go outside, and it seems as if we would be frozen very soon. So the same thing would have happened with the swallow. He was not able to bear that cold weather, so that's why he was dead. Okay, next. Early the next morning, the mayor was walking in the square below in the company with the town councillors. As they passed the column, he looked up the statue. "Dear me, how shabby the Happy Prince looks," he said. And next morning, the mayor of the city was walking in the square below, and he had two councillors with him. And when they looked at the statue, they found it very shabby. Means why? Because all the gold had gone, and it was looking very, very old, shabby, and grey in color. So it was no more, beautiful. So what did they decide? Let's see, what did they decide? What would they do? "How shabby indeed," cried the town councillor, who always agreed with the mayor, and they went up to look at it. And the councillors who would always agree with the mayor's statements, because he was their boss, so they also said, yes, indeed, actually the statue looks very shabby. So the ruby has fallen from out of his sword, and his eyes are gone, and he's golden no longer, said the mayor. "In fact, he's little better than a beggar." So the mayor says here, what does he say? He says that the golden leaves have gone, the ruby which was fixed in the sword, it is also gone, and the eyes are lost. The eyes are also blank. Instead of sapphires, there are black holes instead of his eyes. So he doesn't look little than a beggar. Means he looks like a beggar, right? Little than a beggar, little better than a beggar, means yes, of course he's looking like a beggar, said the town councillors. See here, and here is actually a dead bird at his feet, continued the mayor. And see, there is a dead bird in his feet. We cannot allow the birds die here. Means it makes our city look shabby and ugly. So we cannot allow the birds here to die, and we can't allow such a ugly statue to remain here. Okay, we must really issue a proclamation, means an order, that birds are not to be allowed to die here. Means we should pass a rule, we should make a rule that the birds are not allowed to die here in our city, because that makes the dead bodies of the birds make our city look ugly. So we can't do that. We can't let them die here. And the town clerk made a note of the suggestion, and the clerk, who was also along with him, he made a note of the suggestion that it should be, the rule should be made very soon about it. So they pulled down the statue of the Happy Prince. So because the statue was looking very shabby, it was looking very old and ugly, so they pulled down, they broke it down, the statue of the Happy Prince, as he is no longer beautiful, he is no longer useful. This is the way of the world. As much as you are beautiful, as much as you are productive, as much as you are earning money, you are considered useful in this world. See here the philosophy of Oscar Wilde. He is very simply, very subtly, without letting us know that he is preaching, or he is telling us the philosophy of the life. He is telling us that the human beings are useful as long as they are productive, or they earn money, or they look beautiful. And if you miss any one of these, you are no longer considered useful, you are no longer considered important in this world, said the art professor at the university. See, so the advice of the art professor of the university was sought after. He was asked to give his advice about the statue of the Happy Prince, and he said the statue is no longer useful because it is not at all beautiful. Then they melted the statue in a furnace. Furnace means a fireplace where metals are melted. What a strange thing, said the overseer at the workmen at the foundry. Foundry means the workshop. This broken lead heart will not melt in the furnace. Means in our furnace, in our melting place, we can melt all the things, all the metals here. But it is very strange, the overseer is what? Supervisor. He told his workmen, he told his workers at the foundry, at the workshop, it's very strange that this lead heart is not melting in the furnace. We must throw it away, and it must be thrown away because it is not melting. So they threw it on the dust heap where the dead swallow was lying, and they threw the heart, the leaden heart of the Happy Prince statue on the heap of the dust where the dead body of the swallow was lying. So this is how they were reunited. This is how they were reunited even after death. Who were reunited here? The swallow and the Happy Prince. Got it? Is it clear up to here? The last paragraph, let's finish it very quickly. Some 4-5 minutes are still left and we'll be able to finish it. Bring me the two most precious things in the city, said God to one of his angels. And the angel brought him the leaden heart and the dead bird. So God once asked his angels to bring him two very precious things from the world as a gift. And see, what did the angels bring for the God? The leaden heart and the dead bird. You have rightly chosen. See, the God said to his angels, the God told his angels that they had chosen the right things. For means because in my garden of paradise, means in my garden of paradise, you understand? One is hell and the other is paradise. Paradise, you understand, स्वर्ग जिसको हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं. So for in my garden of paradise the little bird shall sing forever, even more, and in my city of gold Happy Prince shall praise me. Means these two things, these two objects deserve to be put, deserve to remain in the paradise because of their true and trustworthy love for each other, and for the love of human beings, for the love of mankind. Means they both sacrificed their lives helping others. So they are, the angels had chosen the right things. And this little bird shall sing forever, even more, in my city of gold, and the Happy Prince shall praise me. And both of them would live here beside me in the paradise, because they were great personalities. They were, their hearts were made of actual gold. They helped the poor people. They could see the sufferings of others, right? So these are the most precious things to me. And see here, one more philosophy that Oscar Wilde very, very subtly, very, letting us know that he has taught us. God loves whom? God loves the people who love the human beings, right? Understood, everyone? Means who can feel the sufferings of others, and who would help the poor people, who would help the sufferers. God loves them the most. So we should learn some 2 or 3 lessons from here, that the world is not at all with you if you are not productive, if you are not beautiful, if you are not earning something. God is always there with you if you are bothering about the poor people of your surroundings, or if you are helping people. You are the most loved things, you are the most loved soul by the God. Okay, that's all for now. The chapter is over, and I hope you all have understood. We have still 1 more minute left. If you have got some questions regarding anything, you may ask. We are still left with 1 more minute. Come on, I'm waiting for your questions. Something that is not understood, any word that you come across and you have not understood. Yes, some people have given me the message, ma'am, Swarg. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. I think today's class was uninterrupted. There was no network connection problem today. It was it went smoothly. I think so. Yes, of course. Okay, thank you all of you for being here, and please try to be here on time so that we can discuss more and more things. and thanks all of you. Bye for now.